The AI bubble is 17 times the size of the dot-com bubble from 2001 and 4 times the size of the subprime bubble from 2008, at least according to one analyst that works at this company, MacroStrategy. They advise over 220 institutional clients globally, with more than $5 trillion of wealth being managed or advised upon. Analysts at this firm are firmly in the AI naysayer camp and are not AI optimists. They believe that AI is a massively over leveraged technology, and we can even scroll down here to, yes, US cumulative Wixell misallocation, indicating that the misallocation of resources currently going into investing into AI companies exceeds the 2008 peak that you can actually see back here on the chart around 2008, which is very, very shocking. And that's not shocking to anybody who's been paying attention. So, for example, OpenAI was very proud that it hit $12 billion of revenue this year. And the key word here is revenue. It is not $12 billion of profit. It is not $12 billion we're taking home cash. That's $12 billion total flowing into the company. Well, the company is spending upwards of $500 billion, or 50 times this amount, to build out its infrastructure, and taking investments, i.e. loans, from NVIDIA and other corporations to the tune of tens, or in some cases $100 billion, like with the direct NVIDIA investment. And then OpenAI itself is then reinvesting into other AI companies. So a lot of these firms are just moving money around. They also talk about the scaling limits of this product. For example, they're not likely to get radically better even with a larger model, but building a larger model, we're adding zeros to the end of everything. ChatGPT cost 50 million. ChatGPT 4 cost 500 million. ChatGPT 5 is going to cost about $5 billion. When we hit ChatGPT 6, who's going to pony up the $500 billion? We want to hit ChatGPT 7, who's going to pony up the $5 trillion? Nobody knows. And you can even see, because of this risk in the market, because of this fear of things, gold is actually doing pretty well in terms of risk. Gold is kind of popping off right now, but S&P 500, NASDAQ, Treasury, oil, dollars, those are all showing significant risk in a number of key sectors. And I'm not going to bore you to death too much with this, but to point out that yes, AI is in a bubble, but it's more of a question of how big of bubble and when bubble pop. I don't think that having $12 billion in revenue justifies a $500 billion valuation, especially when you're spending that $500 billion just building more data centers all over the world to suck up energy for a product that most people don't seem to want to use.